Hi there, I'm Scott Lowe with ActualTech Media. I'm here today with Johan Haan, who is the CTO for Mendix. Johan, thank you for having us here today.
Yeah, sure. Pleasure, Scott.
So tell us about Mendix. Tell us what you do and why enterprise IT should be looking at you.
I think the best way to explain what Mendix is, what we do, is to explain why we exist. So if you look at the world around us, everything is changing faster and faster, and new startups that know how to utilize software in the core of their business, they are disrupting entire industries. Look at Netflix, Uber, Airbnb, all these examples that we know. And if you look at enterprises, they're scared that tomorrow a new startup will disrupt their entire industry. But just screaming at your IT department that you need more software or better software doesn't help you.
No.
Because they are behind in delivery. It's difficult to live up to the needs of the business, or the business doesn't even know what they want. So what the problem that we solve is that we can, if you use the Mendix platform, you can deliver applications 10 times faster. So that solves the speed issue, but also with a much broader audience. And how we do that is by allowing developers to use visual models to design their applications. Mm-hmm. So you design your business process, the UI, drag and drop, the different elements on that, and the data model behind your application. And then just hit the button and publish that to our cloud or any other location you want to deploy on.
You know, one of the things, I spent a lot of my career as a CIO, and always had arguments with people about what we could automate and what we couldn't, because we just didn't have the staff or the knowledge to be able to do our own custom development. We didn't, at the time, have the deep development skill set that we needed. With the Mendix platform, how much of a developer do I have to be able to get started?
I think if you look at the type of developers that use Mendix, it's a mix. So our goal is not to fully replace development. It's about bringing IT and business together. So let them collaborate. So bring the people with the ideas together with the people with the technical aptitude to bring them to life. So if you are a professional developer, you will like Mendix because all the boring stuff is being automated, and you only need to do the fancy algorithms in a more sophisticated programming language. Yeah,
the foundation seems like it's always the hard part. You got to tie into an authentication platform. You've got to build out the messaging infrastructure when you're doing your own development. But you probably bring a lot of that to the platform already, yeah, so you can just integrate with what's already there.
Yeah, so all the building blocks are there. You don't have to program any Java or JavaScript to be able to build an application. It's really for the last maybe 2%. If you have specific legacy integrations or reusing existing code, then you use Java to include it in your model. But other than that, you can just model the application. And basically, if you are a tech-savvy business person, you will be able to build applications. So people can design these business processes, and if you are not able to build yourself, you can at least look at what's being produced, collaborate on that, comment on it, have quick iterations with the development team to get it done.
Now, we don't always have all the tools we need inside the organization. We don't have all the data feeds we're going to need. We don't have all of the general process stuff, like tying into Internet of Things platforms and things like that. How does Mendix help me integrate with things that are outside my organization so that I can bring the power of that to my enterprise?
I think there are two sides in answering this. One is that the beauty of Mendix is that it's not just a front-end layer on top of existing services. You can build entire enterprise-grade applications from scratch using our platform. So if you don't have an existing web service or database or whatever technology that you would need, you don't need that to start building applications. You can just start building from scratch. So that's one side to your question. The other is if you need more sophisticated services like IoT, Internet of Things, connections to a lot of devices, machine learning, all these new services that are coming up. We have out-of-the-box connectors in our platform to IBM Watson, for example, also Amazon machine learning, Amazon IoT. So all these big cloud providers are providing these building blocks that you can use within the Mendix platform by just dragging and dropping that functionality into your application.
So if I'm an enterprise and I want to leverage Watson, what would I do? Like, give me an example of what I could do as an enterprise with, it's almost a use case sort of thing where I could leverage Watson to do something for me.
Yeah, so if you, nice example I think is, just imagine a field engineer. So he has a mobile app that gives him a checklist to check a wind turbine or something else, an asset that he's checking in the field. What he can do, for example, is use a Mendix mobile app. And when he's looking into the details of a certain problem, he can, for example, take a picture of an element. We use IBM Watson to recognize that image and automatically pull the right documentation, for example, to give him assistance in his job, or scanning the tags of assets, so that you can look into a certain a code number or whatever, take a picture of that, analyze the image, and get you to the right history of that element.
Who are some of the bigger customers that you're allowed to talk about? I mean, they're leveraging the platform today.
I think a nice example of an application leveraging the Internet of Things is a big airline company. So for maintaining their planes, you can imagine that if you maintain planes, they are in a large building and they have very specific equipment to do maintenance. So they were losing quite a lot of time on a daily basis in finding the right equipment to actually start doing the job. So we built an application in just a week as an experiment. So they tagged all the equipment with we connected it to I think it was Amazon IoT, and built a mobile app on top of that, so you could immediately see, okay, I want to do this, I need to do this task, I need this equipment, and it's located there. And they just save millions on a yearly basis by just such a simple app. So that's, I think, also an important message, that there is so much untapped potential by just experimenting, trying things out. And if you can experiment in a low-cost way, and low
risk too, it seems, because you're just basically taking something that's just inefficient, making it better. It's not like you're trying to revamp something completely.
Exactly, and you can just try it out. I mean, the Mendix platform starts with a free layer, so you can just starting building apps, and as long as you're below 10 users, it's completely free to use. So you can try do a lot of experiments, see what sticks, and then really zoom in on that and make that a huge hit.
And where could, if someone watching this, where can they go to actually learn more about Mendix and get started with that free trial?
Yeah, so just go to mendix.com and sign up. You can just start going. Basically use all the capabilities for free in the platform. And only if you start to use it in production with more than 10 users, then you start paying for Mendix.
Excellent. Johan, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.